Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome. Well, I guess you can tell by the title, I am postmenopausal. I am postmenopausal. So, in this video, I am going to talk to you about what that means for me, and what that means for my GLP-1 journey. I'm going to tell you, I was shocked. I was surprised. I thought I was going to be in menopause, not being postmenopausal. But I will say, I got my lab work back. I've been tracking my symptoms. If you're on a GLP-1 medication like I am, whether it be Mounjaro, Zepbound, Ozempic, or Wegovy, this changes things for our journey. But it doesn't have to be all bad. But today, I want to empower you. I don't want to scare you. It's not all bad. It's just things that we have to be aware of and put in place to support us. So let's talk about what it really means, first of all, to be postmenopausal on your GLP-1 journey. I'm going to tell you how I got here. I'm going to share my actual lab results, and I'm going to tell you how we can thrive through all of this, right? Because that's the goal. That's the goal, to get the information. I always say knowledge is power, and how we're going to thrive on it. Now, my weight loss has been slow and steady. I am the slow and steady, wins the race queen. And because my weight loss has been slow and steady, this is just going to fit right into what I've been doing and what I plan to continue to do to be consistent on my journey and just keep the results going. Because remember, my goal is to be 100 pounds down. So I can't let this or anything else get in my way or stop me. I have to take what I know and use it. So let's get into it. So let me just catch you up. I am taking Mounjaro. I've been taking Mounjaro for 18 months now, and my weight loss has been slow and steady over time. And I am 70 plus pounds down. I am so excited about that. I'm going to put the exact total here on the screen. But I want you to know that every pound, I had to work for every pound. I'm really proud of that too. So let's just get started. First, I want to break down the difference between being perimenopausal, being in menopause, and being postmenopausal. So perimenopause is the stage before menopause. It could last for 4 to 10 years, and it includes things like irregular periods, hot flashes, mood swings, and sleep problems, which I was having all those, I will say, during my perimenopause phase. The next one is menopause. Menopause, they say it's one moment in time because it's defined as 12 full months without a period. You don't know you've reached it until it's over. And that is so true, because I didn't know I reached it until it was technically over. So let me tell you, I went 1 full year and did not have a cycle. And I couldn't believe it. I thought, I'm going to be one of those people that when I get to that 365th day, that I would have a cycle. And because I had said that and played that over and over in my mind, when I went to the restroom on that last day, right, I thought I saw something that could look like it was a cycle. But I think that was just my mind manifesting that, because I had kept thinking about it and thinking about it. So I thought, okay, I know I didn't go all these days, a whole year, and wait till I get to that day to have a cycle. So I don't know if that was it or not. I shared that with my doctor, and she kind of thought it was just, it could be my mind playing tricks on me, or it could have been a little faint something, but it wasn't a cycle. And I'm inclined to believe it based on the other things that have been going on. So let's talk about where I am and where you could possibly be being postmenopausal. So you're in postmenopause. Postmenopause is everything after that 12-month mark. It's not a temporary phase. It's a new hormonal baseline. And that's where I am now. Who else is out there with me? I'm excited about this. I don't know. Why am I excited? I am excited about this. I guess because I have been thinking about this for so long, all year long, when I wasn't having a cycle. And so now that I'm here, I'm like ready to celebrate. So how did I get here, and what did my blood work say? Well, if you watched my previous video, if you have not watched that, you have to watch that, because that video is going to tell you and give you a reminder of how you have to advocate for yourself. So I went into my doctor and I requested a full hormonal panel, a whole blood work. I wanted to know everything about my hormones. And unbeknownst to me, when I got to the actual lab to get my blood work done, something told me to make sure she was, I was getting all these hormones checked, right? And I found out that I was not. So my doctor ordered 2 hormones, and I'm annoyed by it, but that's okay. I'll get the complete blood work that I need in the coming month or 2. What she did order to confirm my suspicions that I was menopausal or postmenopause is she ordered a FSH, which is a follicle stimulating hormone test. My level was at 116. She also ordered an LH test, which is a luteinizing hormone test, and that was at 47.1. So let me just tell you what that means. So according to the information that I have in my chart, so if my FSH is at a 116 to be postmenopausal, if you're in that range, you're at a 23.0 to a 116.3. So I am high. My level is high, which is an indicator of being being postmenopausal. And then my LH hormone was at a 47.1. And according to the information in my chart, my postmenopausal status was confirmed because anything from a 10.0 to a 54.7 puts me in postmenopausal. So I'm not even menopausal, I'm postmenopausal. So I love that. I love that. That confirmed it for me. I was very disappointed, let me say, because my doctor did not do the full hormone panel workup. This was my gynecologist, my gyno. I like saying gyno. But my primary care physician, I had brought these concerns to her back in 2003, my perimenopause symptoms, and she ordered an estradiol hormone test, which is known as E2. And I knew I had taken that test. I remember us vaguely talking about it. And she's saying, I'm perimenopausal, things are fine. And actually, my estradiol at that time was 27, which is considered very low. And I remember my doctor at that time telling me that, I was still having a cycle, and my cycle was a little unpredictable, but I don't remember being out of sorts. I have an app called Maya, and I checked this app. Around that time, my cycles were becoming irregular, but my doctor was like, you still are fine. I wasn't having the symptoms to the degree where they affected work. That didn't really start until because a month later, right? Shortly after we talked about it. I mean, now that I think about it, it was starting in 2003 when I was having these terrible symptoms. It's key to note here that my primary care physician is against HRT treatments and BHRT treatments. And she's not the one who told me that. Her assistant told me that in the office one day. He's like, she's totally against it. She thinks it causes cancer, which we know now that myth has been debunked. So let's just note my primary care physician has not been willing to treat that with anything related to HRT or BHRT. But my gyno was willing to give me a treatment, just not BHRT, only HRT. So I have to find a physician that is willing to introduce me and even educate me on BHRT and can support me in that journey if that's what I choose to do. So it's kind of unfortunate that women doctors and the doctors that I know and respect and have been treating me at this phase in my life, they probably won't be able to support me. So I'm going to have to look elsewhere. And guess what? I'm willing to do it because I want to do what's best for my body, not what's best for the doctor and what they think. I want to do what's best for me and what I think and the research that, I am doing on how to care for myself. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm advocating for myself. So I would suggest that you do too if you get to that point. So I just want you to know that we lose estrogen by the time we're in our 40s and 50s. We lose that estrogen. So we have to be willing to do something to help us through these symptoms. And if you're somebody who's suffering, do not suffer. And, people like to call it white knuckling it. Do not do that. Get yourself some help. I'm going to go back to my doctor next month and my primary care physician doctor. And the blood work that I was not able to get through my gyno, I'm planning on getting it through my primary care physician. And then if she refuses, I have another doctor on deck. Because I am determined to know my levels and not just my FSH and my LH. I also want to know what my thyroid hormones are. They play a role in menopause as well. Definitely my testosterone and my progesterone. I want to know where those levels are. So I am going to get those one way or another. But it won't be until about a month from now. And that's okay. In the meantime, in between time, I'm going to focus on what I can control and what I can do. So what does this mean for my GLP-1 journey? So this just means that fat loss gets harder, especially around the belly. So estrogen is used to help keep fat from collecting in our midsection. Now visceral fat becomes more stubborn. I don't need more stubborn visceral fat. GLP-1 will help with that, but it's not magic, and I'm going to have to work a little bit harder and step my game up, which means, I'm going to have to do all the things and make sure I'm doing them consistently. And we're going to talk about what those are in a second. Number 2, muscle mass is going to drop faster. Did you know that estrogen protects your muscle? When I read that, I thought, geez, Louise, how come I didn't know this years sooner? But without it, you lose muscle quicker. So strength training is a must, and it's not a maybe. And that's one thing I am willing to do and have been doing and have learned to enjoy to do is to do that strength training. So let's get on board with the strength training. If you're not doing that 3 times a week, it's a great start. If you want to go beyond that, great. But let's just start there at the 3 times a week. Number 3 is your metabolism may drop. Well, guess what? I've also experienced that. My RMR dropped while I was taking Mounjaro. I've been on Mounjaro. And menopause could be a part of that, which I wasn't really thinking of that. I was just thinking of lack of protein and the lack of lifting heavier weights, right? But muscle loss plus hormonal changes equals a slower burn. So that is something that could happen, but you can offset. So I'm telling you the things that can go wrong or the things that may be a little bit of a challenge, but you can also change that narrative. So I don't want to get stuck in the negative of what's happening without adding that there are things that we could do about that. Number 4 is your cravings may return. I've experienced this. I started having cravings, and that's one of the things that got me on the 12.5 milligrams and off the 10. Even on the GLP-1, I have felt those old cravings coming back, sneaking in, and hormonal shifts can mess with your hunger cues. And I know that for sure. So now that I'm on 12.5 milligrams, it is better. But I'm not food. Once my body gets used to this 12.5 milligrams, I'm aware that it may come back. It may come back. And I'm just going to be prepared to deal with it. Number 5, your bone health becomes crucial. Your bone health becomes crucial because when you are postmenopausal, rapid weight loss can weaken even your bones, and they could weaken them even more. And that's why adding resistance bands, walking, also taking a calcium supplement or eating lots of calcium-rich foods is going to be helpful with this. And when I got my DEXA scan, it revealed that I had excellent bone density. I'm in the excellent range. So I am going to keep doing what I'm doing on that. So I want to keep it there. Number 6, your mood and your motivation can weaken. You can have a little bit of a challenge there. I'm dealing with the brain fog, but you can also have sadness. Anxiety can appear or worsen when you're going through this phase. And I can relate to a couple of these things, especially the brain fog. I've had brain fog. You could experience sadness or anxiety. And sometimes it seems like it appears out of nowhere. That doesn't mean, though, your GLP-1 isn't working. It means our brain chemistry has changed. And that's what that low drop in estrogen and some of your other hormones can do. So there's things we can do to kind of fix this. So again, we're going to talk about it. So let's not get stuck in the negative. But I just want to share, this is a reality if you're taking a GLP-1. I also want to add here, I am 53. If I didn't say that, you might be wondering, how old is this lady? I'm 53. Number 7. The scale isn't the whole story. And, you watch Downsizing Diva, you watch my channel, slow and steady, rinse the race, just don't quit. And I'm also a big, huge proponent and fan and do this every time I give a weight loss update, that the scale isn't everything. The scale is not the whole story. That we have lots of non-scale victories. I'm tracking those. I'm so glad that I have like a video diary almost of my non-scale victories. And I love that. Some non-scale victories that I will just tell you that I've had is just having more energy for my daughter. That's a non-scale victory. Being able to wear some of the fabulous clothes I have that I couldn't even squeeze into if I wanted to. Being able to cross my legs. That's another non-scale victory that I just love. Being able to not worry about sitting down like at a restaurant or any kind of seating area, just the seating of it all. I am just able to go and sit and be confident and cross my legs while I'm doing it. I just love that. Getting on an airplane, I talk about that. But the little things that have to do with my day-to-day not being out of breath, and having energy for my daughter. Those are all the non-scale victories that I just love. A lot of people talk about, inflammation. That's another big one. Just being able to go up and down stairs and not struggle. I love that. So those are some non-scale victories that we have to hold on to. We're going to hold on to those. So I just want to tell you how I'm going to thrive being postmenopausal is I am going to do these 7 things, and I'm going to tell you what they are really quickly. First, I'm going to strength train, which I am doing, but if you're not doing that, add that in 2 to 3 times a week. I say 3 times or more is even better. To get that, pick something that you enjoy doing, a program you like following, and just, stick with it, stay consistent. More muscle equals a burning metabolism, right? Your metabolism is not going to crash, so you got to protect it. And I had to learn that the hard way. So if you watch my video about my RMR, my resting metabolic rate test, you will know what happens when you undereat and not eat enough protein. So check that video out if you have not. Number 2 is I'm going to eat more protein, and I've been a work in progress on this protein, eating more protein. But that's what I plan to do. My doctor suggested 80 grams of protein. My goal is 90 to 120. If I could get past that 120, I'm going to celebrate. But that is my goal. I always say aim high, not low. But if you are, I don't want to say struggling, but it is struggling, or you're challenged with getting that protein in, I would say if you get the minimum in, that's awesome. But if you could do more, aim high. Always aim high. In life, always aim high. Number 3 is to get a DEXA scan. Yes. I'm hitting that DEXA scan home again. I'm 2 DEXA scans in this. It has really let me know what I need to target on my journey. And I would get that DEXA scan every 3 to 6 months. Personally, for me, my goal is every 3 months. If I have to stretch it out to 4, I will. But every 3 months to kind of check in and see where I'm at. The goal is you want to lose fat and gain muscle. You don't want to lose fat and lose muscle. You don't want that. So you want to track that fat versus your muscle loss, and you want it to be accurate. And that's why you should get a DEXA scan. Yes, we have all these fancy scales that tell you they're a smart scale, and they tell you your body composition and how much water you have and your metabolic age. But I'm going to tell you the DEXA scan is the top notch. It is the most accurate. Is it perfect? Probably not. Nothing is. But it's that tool that you're going to need to be the most accurate. And I even noticed my scale is off my DEXA scan, but it's a benchmark for me. So it's a benchmark for me to know where I'm at. If the scale is not the end all or be all for me, that's where I'm going to look to DEXA scan for that. So I just implore you, start where you are, because some people think like, oh, I've lost 50 pounds. Why should I get a DEXA scan now? Because you still want to know where your lean muscle mass is. You still want to know, are you losing fat? Are you losing muscle? And if you are losing muscle and your bone density is not where it should be, you want to just intervene now and fix it while you can. So I think that's important. Also, I'm addressing my mental health. This is a struggle. This whole thing with your hormones, it not only is physical, but it's the mental component to it. So, I do write things out. I'm documenting my journey here on YouTube. And having that group support, that's why I love to go live, having that group support. And that's why I found myself live 3 times a week. One of those times is just really just to educate. So I do that on Wednesdays. The other one, I'm document my weight loss journey. I do that on a Sunday and give a weekly update. And then the Fridays really just came from the people wanting me to be on there on Friday and wanting to have that Friday night live. So that is the community support for me. And as I stay on YouTube and grow, I'm going to be spreading my wings. So watch out for that. Number 5 is boosting my bone health, which I'm in a good range. I told you I'm in an excellent range for my bone density, but something you could do is make sure you're getting calcium, make sure you're getting vitamin D. Consider using resistance bands. If you're not walking, walk, because that's another thing I'm adding to my routine here is getting a little bit more cardio in and being intentional about it, right? Number 6, manage that stress and sleep. Cortisol spikes can stall your weight loss. Don't we all know it? Even if you're on a GLP-1. So getting that sleep is going to affect your cortisol levels. So one of the things that I can say that I successfully am doing is I am getting more sleep. My goal is to get between 7 to 9 hours at night. And some nights I dip down into 6 hours, I will admit. But for the most part, I have been getting that in. So, and that has really helped me on my GLP-1 weight loss journey and fighting through this menopause. So if you're not doing that, let's get that sleep in, prioritize it. You got to prioritize it in order to do it. And finally, I'm going to tell you to ask about a hormone panel. Ask your doctor about a hormone panel. And you want to check your estradiol. You want to check, which is the E2 test, hormone test. You want to check your FSH levels, your LH levels, your TSH levels, which is your thyroid. You want to check your progesterone and your testosterone. You want to get that full blood work panel done. And even if you're like me in your case where you thought you were getting that and you didn't, you're going to have to speak up for yourself. And I am going to include like a script, which you could say, because I know some people can be maybe intimidated with their doctor or get frustrated. I'll have a resource in my stand store where you could take that with you. I'm going to have all the hormones you need to get checked out. I just want you to be an advocate for yourself and be an educated advocate for yourself. So I want to equip you with that because I experienced it and I am in the process of advocating for myself, and I want everybody to be able to do that. Well, leave a comment and let me know. Are you perimenopausal? Are you in menopause? Are you postmenopausal? And what are you doing to handle your symptoms if you're having symptoms? Are you seeking any kind of treatment? Please let me know in the comments and we can chat about it. I want to tell you to come interact with me live. I am live on Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm live on Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And I am live on Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So come and share your wins. Let us know how you're doing. If you're having some challenges, we want to be able to support you with that too. I think you will find it a great place to come and share information about your journey or seek information out. I also want you to subscribe to my channel. If you're not subscribed, like and share this video with anybody who you think could find it useful and they could learn something from it. And I want you to remember when you're on this journey to take great care of yourself and remember, slow and steady wins the race. Just don't quit. I'm postmenopausal. I'm postmenopausal. I'm postmenopausal. I had to get that in. I'm postmenopausal. Why am I so excited? Bye.